Cacao is also bringing us to ourselves. Cacao is about connection.
Yeah.
First of all, connection with yourself. It's really like helping us to soften our mind and get more in touch with our deeper nature, more in touch with our softness and actually power within us, which is, can call it heart, can call it this deeper nature, which is much more pure, much more kind, much more soft, much more wise.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Katya. How are you?
Good.
Very nice. So Katya is the founder and creator of Seeds of Dreams, a lovely space for cacao and more. So first of all, I'd like to ask you, what is your story in life?
Yes, I take life as a precious gift. And I'm from Russia. I was born in Russia, in Moscow, in a beautiful family. And I believe I'm very gifted from the beginning with my family, with the way I was with my childhood. And my family is a very loving family. I'm from, can say, Russian intelligentsia. Yeah, my father quite well-known and very respected artist in Russia. He's an artist, painter, director, movie actor, and more.
Very talented. Wow.
Yes, he's genius, and he's very, very special. And he teach me a lot, and not by parenting, by the example of his life, by the example of the way he live life, by his art. Yeah, my father is also a very artistic and talented woman, but she dedicates herself to us, to my sister and me. I have my sister. Mostly she chose to be like a mother, and it was her main focus after she got us. And but still, of course, all her life, the way she treated our home and held a space for all of us, it was very, very artistic and creative always. Yes, and my sister, and it was a beautiful childhood. We had was traveling. We had a countryside house, beautiful, living in the woods. But I was born in the center of city in Moscow, and was a lot of time I was spending in the city. Like I'm a city child, and this is something what I was missing. Like I understand that when I first time started to travel alone, like really like my big travel was first when I was 19 old. I went with one-way ticket to India.
Wow.
And there I understand that I was learning more to build up this strong connection with the nature. It was already like a lot of like touches when I was young. I was traveling to Crimea, I think it's in English. It's a beautiful, like Russia is a lot of beautiful nature, but like my deep understanding of how powerful this connection between me and nature, it started from India. Yeah, so my path was, although it was a beautiful, happy childhood with, of course, with some struggles and something, but if to speak in general, it was very beautiful and everything. I had everything what I need to be happy. I always had it like feeling that something missing, some bitterness, some sadness within me, which I couldn't understand what is the root of it. From very young age, I remember it from like I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5, 7 years old, for sure 7, already very clear this feeling was for me. I was searching and couldn't understand what is the purpose of all life already at that point. So I think this would lead me to this young travel alone to India, where I was I believe basically this is like my real start of journey to myself.
So let's go back to it. So you were like a teenager and you were in Russia, and at some point you had this strong sort of a desire to leave and go to India.
Yes.
What was the sort of the trigger that manifested this strong desire, or why did you decide to do that?
No, I think because of this inner call, because of this inner bitterness and sadness, which I couldn't understand what it is. I was searching for answers in, like, my family is traditionally from the Orthodox tradition, yes, from the Christianity Orthodox. And I was looking in a church and with the priests asking questions, but never get an answer. It was even more questions coming to me. I was looking in, I was working, I was playing flute, I was drawing, but all these things also was not satisfying me in a way, don't bringing peace within me. I'm quite gifted and everything was very easy for me. I was catching very fast, and but at the end I also got, so I couldn't find a place, I couldn't find my purpose, I think. I was already looking for it. And then I understand, like, where I am in all this, like who I am without all this, like what I felt some, like, kind of like big hole within me, which was frightening me, which was not giving me comfort in a way. I couldn't relax, I was not in peace.
Okay, that's right. And of course, if you go through some sort of crisis, I mean, India is one of the best places to go, right? That's what they say. Because if you cannot find yourself, you go to India, maybe you find yourself, or at least you have an experience of, could be, you know, spirituality, could be nature, as you said. India is one of these countries of contrast, right? Where you see really poor people and then very joyful people, and it's fantastic for people seeking transformation, and that's. How long were you in India for?
I come 5 years.
5 years, wow. And where did you go particularly?
No, at that point I was already like in a Psy family, Russian Psy trans family.
Oh yes.
Yes, and this is like Goa was a place, and I start from there. I go directly to Goa from, like, Moscow, Mumbai. That time it was Bombay, and then to Goa fly. And this is my journey starts from there.
Okay.
After a while I got, like, curious about what else, and I started to travel to mountains, to Pushkar, Rishikesh, and different Varanasi, one of my favorite place. But my base was in Goa. I was spending there time, I was working there also, and I was partying there a lot. And I love people, I can say this, all my life I love very much people, and I was finding a lot inspiration and knowledge through the connection, like living connection with people. This is something what is still now, it's very precious for me, and I keep loving people, and I keep, like, this is like for me big inspiration. And so it was, first of all, it was Goa, and at that time it was really wild and beautiful, and a lot of people with, like, super open-minded people, a lot of creativity there as well. And this was my beginning. This was beginning of my journey to myself. And as you said, India, I believe that India is really, like, very so powerful, whole India, in a different ways. Like, there is a lot of spirituality, yoga, Hinduism, Buddhism, drugs, amazing nature, amazing artist places like Pushkar and Varanasi was already one. Varanasi is so powerful. There is this death and life, and, as you say, like, very poor people and very poor, very happy people. So like you can see there everything. I believe it's like a beautiful mirror. It's showing also you through all this, you are, like, understanding yourself very, you can understand. There is a big chance to understand yourself.
Okay. So 5 years in Goa, and then what happened? Like, Koh Phangan started later, I suppose?
Much later, yes, because I was coming every year to see my family for 1-2 months only. So, like, India, Moscow, India, 1 month, 2 months. And once I come, and my mother, she lost her mother, my grandmother died. And it's like, was for me like a slap, which showed me how far I am now from my family. Like, it's kind of it's make us more close. It showed me how my parents started to like how change everything there, how me went so far from them, and I felt like, I think it is a time to me to stay, to not go back. And I just let go. It was not easy decision in a way, but deeply I felt that this is right decision. And this is how I come back to.
So you moved back to Moscow permanently, and What did you do in Moscow?
Yeah, so first of all, I come back to the place from where I escaped. I can say in a way I escaped. When I went from Moscow, I escaped from all this kind of little bit chaotic life and this my feeling of lost. I went and then I come back to the same place and I understand, okay, now I want to stay. And then my mother also, her father, my grandfather passed away very soon. It was a very short period of time in between. And I understand I definitely want to be near my mother, my parents, and so my journey of coming back started. And it was not easy. It was depression. My first depression in my life started at that point, but I was trying to work. I was working in a cinematographer as a costume designer, and it was very foggy time for me. I was still feeling lost because everything what I find in India, everything what I gained there, I couldn't apply in Moscow. I didn't feel that it's kind of fitting there in a way. For that moment, I couldn't really find how to say, the click in a way, and it was really hard for me, this coming back. But there I met Buddhism. What is funny, that in India I get few touches because I was traveling to Nepal also from India. I was in few Buddhist temples in India as well, in few places. And I felt this energy and I felt like, wow, I feel very cozy there. I felt, me, I'm more like everything comes to me through experience, not through the mind mostly, through the experiencing, through the feelings, through the intuition, by experiencing. So, and in Russia I met a teacher, gladly a lot of big masters coming to Moscow. And I felt a lot from him. I felt this unconditional love and a lot of wisdom. I felt like I'm in front of a huge mountain, like by the energetically. And a lot of love I felt from him and acceptance, and I felt very like, wow, I trust this human being.
You want to say the name? Or
yeah, it was Namkadri Rinpoche.
Okay, where's he from?
He's from Tibet.
Tibet.
He's one of the Terton. He's like a really great big master. And it was first real, how to say, it was my first teachings where I receive empowerment as well, high degree of empowerment. I remember I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know like what's going on, but I felt that yes, I trusted. So then I started to read first book and second book, and it's something, the picture life started to become together in a way. I understand that the Buddhist philosophy helped me so much to find a peace. And of course, Buddhism is it's not just a philosophy, there is the practices which we're applying. Buddha, don't give it as like always was saying, don't believe in me, don't trust in me, apply my teachings, Dharma, and if it works, go for it.
I like this idea, it's not dogmatic, it's personal in a way. I mean, there is knowledge, there is structure, but then it's you applying it to your own life.
Yeah,
because knowing it intellectually but not really owning it, not embodying it, is kind of not so interesting, right? You really need to live it. And,
this is something what I was. And then I started my long journey of when I was kind of remembering myself, I can say, because a lot of wisdom from these books, I was feeling like, yes, this is how I felt, this is how intuitionally I was kind of there, but I was not sure, and I felt like maybe something wrong with me, because in Russia, a lot of this wisdom is really go against of what we was taught, like you need to fight, you need to prove, you need to, like a lot of, like you're not enough. I remember this feeling that from very young age that I'm not enough, and all this idea of guiltiness which exists in Christianity and many things for me like was kind of weird and strange and giving me a lot of like, how to say, the discomfort within me. I was not really, couldn't agree with it.
So now you go a whole new philosophy that is a big shift in the way you perceive yourself in the world, right? And what do you do with Buddhism?
We established a center with my beautiful friend who unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago in a very beautiful way, but it's okay, it's a different story. But yeah, we together, like I can say, he established it, and very fast I joined him right in the beginning of it. And we become like a mother and father. We parent a Buddhist center, Moscow Buddhist Meditation Center, which is still exists, which is very famous now and powerful, already more than 10 years existence of it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've become a founder and head of meditation center in Moscow, and I was leading classes there, I was organizing, I was publishing books in Russian language for kids and for adults about meditation, and I was leading a lot of classes, seminars and classes for people who wanted to step on this. So what is main idea of Kyo Rinpoche? My teacher was to make it more accessible to people who are not sure if they want to get enlightenment or become like spiritual something, but who want to understand themselves more.
Okay. So it's more practical, or
more practical, more modern life. And if you want to go further, we had another like branch, another path in our center, which is more already like Buddhist traditional. And we had this kind of meditation which you can apply in a now girl like our center is helping in big corporate, in companies. You can apply it in a daily modern fast life, and it's already will help you to understand more your mind, your emotions, your fears. It's helping to work with anxiety, with depression, with stress, daily life stress.
More practical, not just philosophical or esoteric, but actually you can apply to the day-to-day life.
Yeah, but this is something what I understand, that actually the all spirituality is about present moment. So it's in the daily life. If you take spirituality, it was my mistake in the beginning, and a lot of people I see, which is separating the spiritual life from the normal life. And actually there is no difference. Spirituality is every second of our existence is like presence and clarity. Yeah, like it's like deep talk and can be very long talk, but it's one. Till we separate it, it's a big confusion still. Yeah.
So how long were you in Moscow, sort of co-running this center, and what happened for the next phase of your story?
Yeah, was my beautiful, very happy time in life. It's a precious time when I didn't need to think about anything. I was really dedicate myself completely to Dharma, to this, because it helped so much in my life. As I mentioned, I was in depression, lost and down, but with all this philosophy and with this practice, applying meditation in my life, it's transformed me, it's helped me find myself, bring everything together and find the path, purpose in life. And it was very happy time, and it's around 9 years. I'm very bad in years. I think it's 9 years was leading and
that's almost a decade, yeah? So very long.
Yeah.
And that was your main sort of occupation at the time,
yes,
is that right?
It was not a work, because not one rubble. For me, I was always like implying it in a center. We was publishing books, we was organizing teachings. Yes. Masters was coming.
Was it just volunteering, or you completely volunteering for 9 years? Wow, 9 years. That's a lot of work you've given, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for your karma.
I think so, but also I think I already had a good karma in the way that I was able to do it, because I didn't need money. I had my flat, I rented, I didn't need much. I was not attached to money. This is also something what my father taught me, so I was very easy with it, and I had this freedom to do this, and I was super happy about it. Yeah. And then I got my first son.
Okay.
This is something what started to a little bit separate me from this, like I can say the Tergar, my first, Tergar is the name of the meditation center, Tergar Center, and I say it's like my first child. It's really like, for me it's after I understand, when I got my son, I understand that it was kind of parenting as well. And then I got my first son, boy, Amit, his name. And in Russia, in Moscow, I get married, and we was together. And of course, when I got a family, I started to step a little bit out from the center, although I was still very much involved. But of course, I dedicate more time to the little soul which chose me as a mother. And this was something what already started to make me think if I'm sure that I want to grow up in Russia. I was living in the countryside, and it was very isolated from people. And I felt that I want to be in community, and of course I was always remembering this Goa life, where was families living, bilingual kids with much more open mind and straight away touching different traditions, different, seeing how possible, how life can be more wild than just in Russia. And we was thinking with my ex-husband already, we decided to travel to Koh Phangan to see how it is, and we really, I really like it. He maybe at first not that much, but when we separated, I decided to move here and live here.
Okay, so that's the Koh Phangan chapter, right?
Yes.
And do you remember when was that, more or less? How many years?
Yes, of course. My son is now soon will be 12, so it will be, he was 2 years old.
So 10 years. So 10 years ago you came to Koh Phangan, and I said, okay, this place, you moved to Koh Phangan actually, with the intention of staying here at least part of the year, or?
Yeah, this is what it was like. I not yet moved, and I needed, like, I can say, like, I liked Koh Phangan. I not straight fell in love. Like, wow, like I was always comparing with India in a way. For me, India was more powerful, deep, and truthful in a way. This is what I like also. Like, I always searching to go beyond. Like, I was jumping with parachute. I was always stepping out from comfort zone, following my fears, and like all my life I was searching for such things. And here I felt like it's very comfort and very beautiful, but this is something what I believe was beautiful for my son.
Okay.
And I can say that I chose it at that point for my kid. Yes, we started to move slowly, and I was shifting the Tergar to finding the people to whom I can shift it and how I can really let it go. It was not easy for me also process. It took around 4 years. I was coming and going, spending 4 or 5 months here, slowly become more months here, less in Russia. Coming there, still leading classes, and coming back, trying online, but it was not easy for me with a kid. Yeah, so finally then I moved. And at the end, I totally moved when I got a second son.
Okay.
Yes, which now I have 2 boys, 2 kids. And with the second son, well, already, yes, I understand that we will root here, and also was time for school for my older son, so I understand that now we need to, because before I was still traveling, sometime to India, I was learning jewelry, I was still traveling, but then I understand that already need to choose to give a roots.
It's important when you have children, particularly, right? It makes it a little easier if you're settled in one place, I suppose, for the schooling, etc. And okay, so you were now you're Koh Phangan full time, so to speak. And what I remember you from, ecstatic dance. You had a big bottle of cacao, and you were serving cacao in ecstatic dance. But also, you could be seen sometimes in other events, sort of like conscious gatherings we were doing, right? So you were always, and also you were volunteering a lot in the events themselves. Sometimes, I suppose, right? Supporting people, doing classes, etc. And how did it go from there to then owning the shop that you own, Seeds of Dreams?
Yeah, Cacao. I always say Cacao chose me. It's not I chose a Cacao. It chose me, and I couldn't say no. It's a beautiful, magical story. More far from the story, more it sounds like unreal in a way. So I can say that when Tergar, I completely let go of Tergar. I always felt this sadness that I'm not anymore supporting people in the journey of awakening, of the journey to themselves, of this, because meditation is the root of meditation. It is to understand yourself, your nature, who you are, of searching to stop to searching outward, to turn to yourself, and in the present moment be with it. Yes, to face it, to gain this clarity in your life and understanding what is your real nature. And but I was always praying in my praise, in my practices, which I was keep doing. May I find a way to support people again. May I find a way to do it again. Anyway. So
so basically, you were serving cacao in ecstatic dance. So you had already this connection with the cacao, right?
The cacao come to me. I just helped one family. One family here was living. And this was their life. They was doing chocolate and cacao, serving cacao in ecstatic dances, but then they got into trouble. They needed help. And just by chance, I was a person who helped a lot. And I was like a key person in this situation, and I was in a complicated situation. It was like a family with 2 kids also, so I helped them. And I didn't know nothing at that point about cacao. I was not really connected to it, but I was in the process of establishing the company to start to work. Like my kid was already getting like 2 years, the small one, and I understand that my saving money is not enough to live proper life, which I want to live for me and for kids. So I need to work, need to start something. And I opened a company. We opened a company with my ex-partner, beautiful bamboo artist. I think you know him, Anton.
Sure, I've interviewed him as well.
Yeah, we opened a company, and it was spontaneous name, Seeds of Dreams, which like needed in a day, like make a name. I just like to collect seeds all my life, and I think it's a beautiful symbol, this small seed with a lot of potential. So Seeds of Dreams come very spontaneously. So company Seeds of Dreams, we're on the way to open, and then happening the story with a girl, and they need to leave an island, and she was asked questioning why, like who can support, how to say, like who can hold her cacao and chocolate magic.
So
we go with it.
This is a lady or a couple that already were doing some cacao on the island,
on
is
the
that
island,
right?
yes.
So they had what kind of operation they had?
They had at that point 100 kg of cacao seeds and a machine. This is what they shipped to me, and some recipes which is that at the end mostly didn't work for me because I understand after it was their recipe. So she made me an offer, and I felt like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do with this 100 kg of seeds? But my heart was really screaming yes, and I understand that I want to accept this offer, and I buy from her this 100 kg and this machine for like comfort money for me, and this money was good for them for new start. So kind of we make this decision in one night. And my lawyer called and say like your company Seeds of Dreams is
accepted.
Yes, now is existing, and it was same day. So like kind of very beautiful. It's everything come together. Seeds of Dreams, Seeds of Cacao, and my journey started. I call it also like a cacao DAO very often because it is like it is a DAO for me. It was a COVID time. It was just all started 1 week before all the borders closed. And it's funny that my plan was to travel around and bring stuff for interior design, but it's become not possible because of COVID. I couldn't travel, but I got this cacao seeds. So I understand, okay, so this is it's showing me the way, like there is no chance other. So I started to play with it, try to understand. I create a little studio, hidden place where I was work with it, trying to understand how to make chocolate, all this alchemy of from seed to bar to candies and cacao. And I love to dance. And yes, it was straight connected to ecstatic dance, and I started to pour cacao there. And from this connection with people, from this pouring cacao and dancing people, and exchange of this moment on around cacao, I started to understand what is cacao about, and I understood that wow, this is exactly what I was kind of looking for. Cacao is also bringing us to ourselves. Cacao is about connection. First of all, connection with yourself, and through this deeper connection with yourself, because cacao have this gift, this magic of like it's more easy with ceremonial cacao, I mean, which is from whole seed, which is a certain way sourced, yes, and treated by people who really choose it by heart to do it.
Sure.
So it's like many things which is making it ceremonial in a certain way done. It's really like helping us to soften our mind and get more in touch with our deeper nature, more in touch with our softness and actually power within us, which is can call it heart, can call it this deeper nature, which is much more pure, much more kind, much more soft, much more wise. And actually meditation doing the same, and understand like, wow, this is the key, so which I can use now to again like help people to turn them to themselves, to find themselves again, to get in touch with them, their deeper self. So cacao become my new way to do it.
That's lovely, because of course cacao is well known for being some sort of superfood. It's very nutritious, lots of antioxidants. It's got some mild stimulant sort of properties, which are very nice. But also, as you mentioned already, there's lots of esoteric or more sort of spiritual connection or parallel we can make with cacao. And it's been used traditionally, particularly in South America and Central America, for indeed connection and ceremonies. And you know, the two together, the superfoods, sort of more physical properties, and this ability of cacao to maybe help stimulate some sort of like a different state of consciousness, right? And also connection with others and the heart.
Yeah.
So together is such a lovely thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But what you say, actually, also by the chemical, like there is so many components which is making it. It's called also like the best natural antidepressant.
Yeah.
It's also not only like esoterical spiritual thing. You can also look at it from the side of what is existing in it. It's really superfood which have a lot of health and benefits for us, which is helping us to soften, to get more happy, to get more sensible. Yeah, because there is this property in it which is helping us on the physical level also to make this shift. It's like I call it self-alchemy. And yes, it was from very old tradition from Mayans and Aztecs. They was using and they call it a drink of God. The making was like using it in ceremony to get in touch with the gods, yes.
Sure.
And God is within us. God is within us. It's not somewhere where you need to, to shift to reach. It's actually there. And this is what cacao doing, help us to ground, to get in touch with this.
Lovely. So basically, you had this opportunity and this calling that kind of manifested, just again through some sort of help that you were giving this couple. And then now, if you go to Seeds of Dreams, of course, it's a very lovely shop. You have many beautiful different pieces of furniture. So there's quite an interior design side to it. And you can experience a different kind of like a hot chocolate or hot cacao drinks.
Cold also.
Yes, and also you have handmade chocolate itself, right? And a few other things, but it's a lovely place if you want to indulge yourself with a cup of cacao, or you want to have maybe an hour for yourself, read a book, or come with friends. You have some board games, things you can use to interact with each other, right? It's just a place to hang out, right? It's a nice place to hang out.
My idea was, again, I wanted through this place to create a space for people to feel like home.
Okay.
To feel relaxed and safe, to feel cozy, to really like, and it's so much works. Like, I don't know, it's place, cacao together make this magic. People already step in and feel like to breathe out, to just relax and drop. And this is something what people really like. Somehow I got it there. And it's brought everything together for me because I love to create coziness. I like a lot of small details. I think it's also meditation because I pay attention to small things a lot and I always see them and I feel them. And I believe this is what creating this magic. And each small thing is matter. And this is something what I'm playing there, like the texture of the fabric, the colors, the lightening, the different combination of styles and woods, and although it's not coming from my mind because I'm not educated for this, it's coming off my feeling of harmony, peace and beauty in a way. This is what I'm trying to express
so nice.
there. It's full of art. There are happening now a lot of events, which is important for me, events, live music, cacao meditations, now I'm leading there, cacao new moon meditations where I try to inspire people to follow their real dreams, to get in touch with their real dreams. And this is what is all Seeds of Dreams about.
Very lovely. Okay, sounds very good. So if you are in Sriracha or like in Koh Phangan, just take a look at it for sure. It's like really a nice place to hang out with a friend or a date, afternoon date.
Actually, date with yourself first of all.
A date with yourself. And yes, absolutely. Very lovely. Okay, so now you have this lovely space, and I know you also started something online. Is that right? Or you're trying to sort of like expand this operation you have in Koh Phangan with. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So now we're making the online shop where we'll sell cacao brews, different cacao brews, which already will be like pure cacao ceremonial. Some will be our signature drinks, which we have, the motherhood with rose, blue lotus with a lucid dream with the blue lotus. So it will be different brews. Also will be now with lion's mane and cordyceps. So different brews for different purpose, little bit. And in a nice packages with nice messages where we'll inspire people to make their own ceremony, because this 5 minutes of cacao, everyday cacao drink can be beautiful tradition, when you dedicate time for yourself,
Sure.
and you dedicate time for your, everything starts from the seed which you plant, and seed is your motivation, intention. And I think this, just 5 minutes with a cup of cacao, when you settle intention for a whole day, for your life, for this moment, it can transform a lot.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to, and it's actually working already very well here, and I believe it will work well also more worldwide. I got an offer also already to sell in different countries, so this is what I'm working on now. And this, I believe, with all what's going on, I know that wars always exist in the world, but we are existing now, and I believe that this is what we need. We need a shift from mind to heart, where we're one, where we're connected,
Sure.
where we're more empathic, where we're more mindful about everything.
Yeah, because it seems like, you know, the media going from one crisis to the next, and there's lots of fear and anxiety and also depression. So if you can get away from your mind a little bit, get into your heart, the heart trusts the world is going to be okay, trust that you're going to be fine, and also connect with other people, you know, after the social distancing, you know, still people are still in like a social distancing mode back home. I mean, not so much like before, but some people, a segment of the population for sure, they never really moved on. They got permanently in fear, and any kind of practice that brings you into the heart, because the heart is the center of the trust. You know, if you love yourself, you love everybody, you know that it's going to be okay, no matter what, you're going to be fine.
And we cannot connect on the mind. There we're just sharing some ideas and thoughts, there we're separated, but we are one in the heart. So when we make this shift, when we can just more feel empathic, there all the connections happening. And you're right, like I think connection with each other is super important. To feel that we're all connected, that we are all one, and we're actually looking for same thing, to be happy and to be loved and love. Just in our minds, we're getting these ideas that's, yeah, this is also like, it's a whole long topic, which is maybe don't need to touch now, but yeah, super important. I think now to find for people the way to find this peace within. We lost the peace, but it's starting from within, and that's why, because within we don't have peace. We have this war already, we're lost in this, like we have so much anger and pain and fears within us, so much stress. That's why it's already like when from outside we feel it, we're straight supporting it. And this is something we all should make the choice, like what we want to support, war or peace. And it starts from within.
Inside us, inside our friends, families, communities, etc. Because you know, there's many levels of conflict. You know, it's not just the ones in the media or in certain countries. The conflict is every day, and the more united we are, the more close, and the better we feel as human beings. It's such a basic thing, and you know, you cannot just separate anger all the time. But you know, that's a lovely thing, lovely message that you just said. I would like to sort of finish this, because we've been in Koh Phangan for 10 years on and off, but why do you still love Koh Phangan?
Yes, Koh Phangan. I have goosebumps from this question. Yeah, this is, as I say to you, first of all, I chose it for my kids in a way. I felt like, okay, Koh Phangan, yes, I like, but I don't love, but Koh Phangan. But then I start to unfold it more and more. And yes, now I can say that, okay, India, it's a Mama India. I have Nepal as my grandfather, I always say, like I start to search, like, okay, if Mama India, so where are all the rest? So my grandfather is in Nepal, definitely. My father is Russia. And then I understand that Koh Phangan is my lover. This is like
very fitting,
yes, I'm in love with this island, with these people, and it's not always easy. And I'm not searching. My life is not easy. I can say I'm constantly out of my comfort zone, especially last 4 years. And this last 4 years, I can say I'm living the life of my dream. But it's not easy life. Yeah, a lot of a lot of things are happening. I'm facing a lot, and but I always transform it. I manage to transform it to the wisdom and to my power. So Koh Phangan, I love for this amazing nature, of course, for this crystal island with all these waterfalls, beaches, jungles, rocks, stars, moons and suns, how it's connected. And I feel that here all the 4 elements in a beautiful balance. This is how I feel for me. And of course community, of course people, all this I wrote one beautiful poetry about Koh Phangan, but it's unfortunately in Russian.
Okay, you have to translate it now.
I should, but it's about all these people who in love with the world, who is very romantic seekers, nomads, who was, I believe it's such a tiny island, and all of us who choose it to live here, we are definitely very much connected karmically. It's not possible other way. We're all like very deeply connected from life past before. And yeah, this community vibe, this community feeling, then when you know each fruit seller, each one from whom you buy the bread, you know these hands who make this bread, you know people to whom you go to make massage, you know people who is holding my kids when they're in school. Like this is such a unique feeling that you live in a mandala where you know from where it's come, you know the roots of everything with whom you are interacting. Sure. Like it's something very beautiful for me, and here we're learning to become more and more open, more and more sensible, more and more sensitive to each other, more and more aware of your life, in a way I can say, more and more naked, I can say, by emotionally and
literally too, on naked beach, if you like. Okay, that's a lovely kind of like a lovely sort of, you know, a sentence, or like a declaration of love for the island, you know, which I also share very much, you know, international, but also the village feel. We say everything comes from a certain person that I kind of know, at least. It is true, you know, it's got this village feel, but it's so international, and so many artists, creatives, sort of yogis are coming here. That's fascinating, as well as many tourists. And
it's like island which is very, like for sure I know some stories when island not accepting, but if it's accepting us, this is like pure life. And of course local people, and I love Thailand, and I love Thai tradition. It's a Buddhist country, it's very soft people, I admire them so much. Sure. And they accepting us here and holding a space for us so beautiful. Also Burmese community here is lovely and beautiful. So all together we're creating this magic, and it's possible here easily live this life where all my ideas how it should be, the vision and values exist present. Yeah.
Lovely, Katya. Well, thank you very much for sharing your story and your wisdom, and it's been lovely having you here. So, kap on kap.
Thank you. Thank you.